Hi everybody, today is Tuesday, April the 7th, and I'm going to take you through some of my trades today and my thought process. So today I finished up the day $1,525 on 9 trades, and yeah, I'm just going to take you through them. So we're going to start here with JNUG. So I'm going to be moving away from JNUG now because it's a 2 times ETF, and it's not really giving you the bounces that you want. So I'm just going to show you the 2 trades that I had here. So day started, ignored the front, and actually I was away for the first part of the morning and got back to my desk here and saw that we were basically on a run. And what I did was I waited until we passed the first fib we have everything. So this is a perfect entry, in terms of my point system. You have half, 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 so you're 1.5. You have a full point for the 50, full point for this 15 MA, and a full point for the fib. So actually in on a 4.5 because the candle's not, super alpha candle. But take an entry here and just wrote it up, wrote it down just through this turbulence and used this fib as a guide, and then came up here. And as soon as the MACD started to cross down here, and I was losing momentum, so I was watching actually the height of the momentum, as you can see here, was at a 6 and a 5. I decided it was time to get out. So we still have good signal. I could have wrote it up. I just saw the fib over top and I thought, hey, let's lock in some profit. And first thing in the morning, we were up $630. That was good in the books. Easy trade. Stock just kind of came down here, and this was kind of a precursor to the lesson of the day. On this trade here, I lost $440. So basically, I took an entry in here before crosses that was coming up, battled the 50 MA. Everything was looking good. You can see the RSI is good. You can see the TTM squeeze is good. You have good momentum here. MACD is moving up. And then it just came down, and I thought it would hold and took my 440 loss, and that kind of washed the good trade there. And stayed with JNUG for a bit of the day, but it was kind of choppy, and I said enough of this, and we started playing the Qs later in the day. So after getting kind of frustrated with JNUG and watching its 10-cent runs, I said enough of this. We need a 3 times ETF, and let's see what happens here. So opened up, came into the TQs, and drew my fib lines. Had a nice big run here, and I kind of started watching from this point here, and I noticed that we had a W pattern here play out. You can see on this line. I'm just going to zoom in here for you. This W played out nicely and kind of took off, and that was a nice little run there. And it's really high up into the run for the day here. So if you zoom out, you can kind of see how much run it's already been on. So after it hit this 211 fib, it just kind of came back, it consolidated, but it consolidated off of the 161 fib and into a W pattern off the 50. And basically, after we got confirmation on the 50 right here, and I had a reclamation, I took that as go time. And so once it closed, you can see my entry right there. I took it all the way up, and as soon as I started to get some resistance, this was a good trade. Sold at the second candle, head to the second candle after the first red doji, and that's when we got the MACD heading down. The momentum shifted, and it was confirmed here as I started to lose signal, and I said that's enough for that, and sold here, and that was an $846 trade. So I was happy with that. And sure enough, another W pattern set up, and you could have taken it up, but this whole pattern was looking really extended. So I figured it was time to lay off. I just let it kind of play off the fib, and you can see it consolidated through here throughout the day. As this kind of came lower, you're going to see down here, and this is important here, this is just like that other trade that you just saw in JNUG. So it was coming down, and I felt like this was trying to curl. The 50 MA was trying to curl back up. But you do need a lot of time for this overall length, like for the overall trend, the long-term trend to reverse. It needs a longer time. So the yellow is the trend, the 15 EMA is the trend line. So the trend was still heading down, and sure enough, you can see I actually took an entry right here, and it came up and then immediately failed. So, you know, you're looking at this. Let's zoom in here, get a little bit closer. So yeah, came up, just failed completely, and backed down, because, you know, even though you're getting the cross, you're battling all this momentum here on the 50 MA, and it's really too much to deal with. Even when you have this good signal on the MACD, you're getting the separation, it's coming up from underneath, it has great trajectory, the TTM momentum, it's looking strong, RSI, you know, everything's working in our favor here, but this 50 is just too much to battle. And really that's how simple it is. I'm just going to go to AutoFit here. Now, it trended down a little bit more, and you can see here it plays out again. So, you know, you might have taken an entry right here on this cross, and if you were crazy on this cross here, but there's a fail, crosses again, here's another fail, because it's not, the trend isn't reversing. And yet again, I didn't learn the first 3 times. On the 4th time, I took a small trade here, and I tried it again. I said, okay, against my better judgment, it's now curling, let's try it again. And I bought in here, I saw that it was going to fail, and actually I didn't lose anything here. I bought and sold in the same range, and that was just an even trade, and that ended the day for that. Now let me go to SSQ, the SQs here. Let's go over. Okay, so the SQs, let's go back. SQs, after that trade, so we came in, there's a long trend up here, and basically I took a piece here, and I waited for some confirmation over the fib, and what happened was I just got a small $90 gain. I felt like, well, I didn't feel, I just saw it. I got in a little later. As you can see, I don't like buying in when the MACD is coming in over the 0. So when it's over 0 here, it's already kind of played out quite a bit, and you can see that we're getting higher into the fibs, and I took this trade just because I could see all the other things kind of working for me. The RSI was up, the TTM was switching into my favor, so I actually took the entry here, and I got out here, and right before it was crash out, I sold because I saw this stuff all shifting away from me, and I took a $90 profit. This then carried through. Let's carry up right through here. Okay, now as this is getting longer in the tooth here, this whole trend, as you can see, look how long that is. It's getting way up. Look at the fib level of 423 fib here. Let's go back here. So took an entry, and actually I waited. I tried it here again, sold even, nothing there happened. I just, you know, I felt top heavy against the fib, so I said, okay, let's try it again, because it was just trending up. So I said, let's try it again, but let's wait for confirmation. Well, waited for confirmation, and basically bought it in the top of this candle, somewhere up here, and sold it down here, 3,000 shares, and that ended up costing me $210. Not a great trade. Let's scroll down here. Oh, sorry, that's incorrect. 210. No, that's correct, actually. So lost 210 there. And then kind of played out, and I said, let's wait again. Let's wait to see this kind of, you know, kind of change directions. This overall, maybe it's getting longer. And I came back and hit it again. Everything was working in my favor. So this was actually a really good entry. I waited, instead of taking it down here, which I could have because I didn't want to go against the 50 MA anymore. I waited until we got confirmation over top of it, so you can see the entry there. And my exit was right here at the top. And the reason why I got out there at the top, it was the top point of the last trade. And basically I sold on this candle that looked a little bit weaker, so the open was a little lower, and I sold inside here, and that was me quickly getting back. It was a $390 trade off to $210 a loss there, so I want to make that up there. And so I was positive up here on the day. I was up $1,100 or so, and this is where things got interesting. So if you look at the end of the day, we're going to flip back to the TQs. Over here, after this trade, this started to just crash. And you know, at the end of the day, a lot of people aren't holding on to these, but you know, you went up from $53, and in two candles, this is 30-second candles, uh, this thing was down at $51 here immediately. So once I saw the volume rush in, I quickly flipped over to the SQs, and this is literally just a lottery shot. I don't recommend this, but spiked up here. I bought it too high, and it came up and then right back down, and I sold it. It was down 400. I didn't want to chance it, and I knew it was going to come back. I knew it wasn't done, and I literally took it from here to here for an $840 gain. So this was a $450 loss, $840 gain at the end of the day. Just taking a lottery draw, but whatever, I'll take it. I was up 1,000 at that point, and finished the day up $1,525. So those are my trades today. The big lesson of the day from the TQs: the trend is your friend. Literally, do not trade against the 50 moving average. This is the overall trend, and you're going to lose. So it happened 4 times today. Lesson learned, but I made enough good technical trades to make up for these small mistakes by having like tight stops and whatnot. So whenever I felt something was going to keel over, I just got out of it and wasn't going to play around. So anyhow, those are my trades, and that's my thought process for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day.